Morning, everybody. How's it going? Daisy's looking for her ball. That dog, friends. The ball is the number one thing in her world. That's all that she cares about. Hold on, I gotta huck it for her. Straight here, go. Friends, she will do that for an hour straight. And she brings it right back to my feet every time. Unless she's really tired, then she'll stop halfway. I had to put these guards up to keep the ball up on the deck because she tends to put it in the bushes. It's a game she plays. She's fun. She is the happiest dog I've ever met. She's always ready to rock and roll. Good morning, Miles. I wanted to say that too. Miles sent me a carb for my 044. He emailed me this morning giving me some pointers on it. Just a helpful guy. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. Now, moving on, friends. 12 years in the making. Got the roof done on the shop. I know. I hired the right guys. I always hire them. They're the only roofers allowed on my roof. The Maintenance Brothers, Grant and Scott. I grew up with them, friends. I've known them for like 35 years. I think I met them when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Like, they're from my neighborhood. Growing up, we all hung out in the same area, and it was like they were part of the neighborhood. So these guys are good dudes, and anytime I've needed roofing and I call them, they take care of me, and it's awesome. So yeah, if you guys need a roof in the Winnipeg area, Google the Maintenance Brothers. Maybe give them a shot. They've been good to me, and everybody I've sent them to says the same thing. Like, thank you, those guys were great. And out here, blow-offs are a major concern, so I'm not going to hire just anybody. I want quality, and not only are they quick, efficient, which shows they're professionals, but quality work. Very happy with them. Anyhow, friends, this kind of got thrown together at the last minute. I got a text on Wednesday saying they could fit me in Saturday, and I still had some prep to do. So Friday night, I had to shovel out the grade beam. The mud had packed up to the bottom of the shingles, and I was like, I don't want these guys to have to deal with that when they're laying new shingles. So I dug it all out by hand. There was some roots in there that I pulled out with the skid steer. I filmed all of it, friends. I can't find the footage. It's gone off my phone. So kind of sad, but yeah, I was outside on Friday night till about 10 at night with the shovel in the dark. I had the lights up on the skid steer. It's all cleaned up. I dug out all the grade beam. Look at all these roots here, friends. I had to actually chain them up with the skid steer and pull them off. But anyways, we got the roof done. Looks amazing. The sheeting was fine. And I just want to give a shout out to the guys that did this. They rolled up. They said, we'll be there 9 o'clock. It was like 3 minutes to 9. They rolled in. Grant and Scott, we all grew up in the same neighborhood. I've known them for, I'm trying to figure it out, over 35 years. Morning, everybody. Getting the roof done. To jump in here, they're stripping the roof right now, and I was curious how they were going to do it, and it was actually pretty neat to watch them work. I was happy. I never want to give somebody I know a bad job, and I was hoping this roof would strip nicely and we wouldn't have to replace a bunch of sheets. They hopped in there and stripped it. The shingles were just falling off. It was perfect. I was happy. Super hot out, but again, watching these guys work, I totally appreciate it. It's like watching some of the crews at work. Nobody has to tell each other what they're doing. They just, 4 men working together as one unit. Anyhow, they're stripping the roof here and just giving her. They had that roof stripped in no time. Shout out to the roofers out there. These boys have been here an hour and a half. We're stripped. Already putting the weather and ice shield on. It's awesome. Look at this guy go. What's your name, buddy?
James.
This is James. I've seen a lot of men work. This guy's a machine. No quit.
Okay, I'm ready.
Anyhow, guys, I think they put about 60 bundles on this roof. They showed up here at 9 o'clock. They were on the roof by 9:30. About 2:30 they were done. Absolute professionals, and it was awesome. James, the fellow that was doing this side here, machine. I didn't get the other fellow's name. He was just working up a storm. It was awesome. So anyhow, this building looks a million times better, and it matches all the shingles on my property now match, which is what we wanted. Now, friends, you're gonna ask probably, why didn't I go metal? Well, metal was exactly 3 times the price of this, so metal was a small fortune. So I just said, you know what, let's shingle it. Something's better than nothing. And I actually like the way this looks better. Metal has its benefits, but so anyways, huge thing for the shop, huge thing for the channel and myself personally. 12 years I've been wanting to get this done, and it's finally done. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Progress. I gotta paint it. I gotta change the doors. I'd like to get some concrete in there this year. But anyhow, this has been, it's been a load off my mind. It's pretty neat. Just sitting here admiring my new roof. Those shingles are starting to flatten out, get a little heat on them today, and they'll start to adhere nicely. Thank you guys, boys from Maintenance Brothers. You guys are always welcome on my roofs. You guys are total professionals. And I don't say that lightly. I've been in the trades, especially resi construction. That's what I've been doing my whole life. And I've worked with a ton of people. And these guys are total professionals. They're roofers. That's what they get up in the morning to do. And they do a great job. So thank you guys. Huge load off my mind. And I definitely owe you one. And I mean that. You guys delivered. Little by little, we'll get it done. But this was the first step. So once again, thank you guys. You guys are good fellas. And like I said, if anybody's local and you're looking for a roofer, I can 100% vouch for these guys. And for question of the day, this one's more of a comment, I think, and I'll throw a question of the day in after this. Keep this video short and sweet. Benjamin reached out and said he bought a carburetor online, an aftermarket carb for his 272, and he said it tuned really well and sent me a link on where to get one. Benjamin, I appreciate that. Now, I will say, the reason why I don't recommend aftermarket carbs is you could get one that works fine, and you could order another one, and that one won't work. Or you could order, I ordered 10 aftermarket carbs one time in a batch just to see. 2 of them worked fine, the rest of them didn't work at all. So, the whole thing about aftermarket carbs is they're cheap, and you get what you pay for. Now, what I find is most aftermarket carbs, the first time you put them on the saw, they will tune. Most of them will tune fine, but after you run the saw a little bit, they lose their tuning. You guys can still hear Daisy. She's still going with that ball. Most of them will lose their tuning, meaning they'll get too rich or too lean, or they'll randomly go lean, and you tune them, and then they're good for a little bit, and then they lose their tuning again. What I actually think it is there's flash and casting issues inside the carb, and or I think the aluminum that they make the aftermarket carbs out of is not of the same quality as an OEM. How could it be for 1/10 the price often? And I think what happens is as the carbs get hot, they warp or do something like that. And I can't prove that, but it's my theory. Anyways, Benjamin, I'm glad you found a carb that works, buddy. I have had a few that have worked, but I've probably ordered 20 aftermarket carbs over the years, and I've only had 2 that have ever worked. And by work, I mean worked consistently, for months and months. Not a lot of them will work the first time you use them, but they don't work for long. Anyhow, I'm going to find another question of the day. Okay, I jumped into my emails, found one from Chris Davis. How's it going, buddy? Chris is building a 272, wants to port it, doesn't have a lathe, can't do upper transfer work. You can do upper transfer work with a straight shaft and a ball end mill. I've done it, or even a sanding drum. You can get it in there, you'd be surprised, but I understand if you don't want to do that. Upper transfers can be hard to do. His stock timing numbers: 108 after top dead center on his exhaust, 126 on his transfers. So he's figuring he's got about 18 degrees of blowdown. Intake is 72 or 144 duration. Wants to know, can he raise the exhaust to 104? Chris, 100%. That is a safe number. No problems there. Stock those saws time 104, 102. If you want to go 102 even, totally safe. I widen mine just a hair and raise them just a hair. So, and then you'll have 22 degrees of blowdown. I like 272s with more blowdown. I built one on the channel years ago, and I kept sneaking up on the blowdown. I did a lot of upper transfer work to that saw. That saw had about 17 degrees of blowdown when I was done. I did not like that saw at all. It didn't, I felt like it ran out of gas in a big buck. She's still going with the ball, friends. It is what it is. But anyhow, Chris, 104 is totally safe. Even if you fudge it a little bit and you end up at 103, 102, nothing to worry about there. You'll have a nice all-around torquey, grunty saw. Now, I would add intake timing. That's just me. You're mentioning you weren't going to port the intake. I usually run my 272s at like 152, 154. So you're like 10 degrees off. I would add at least a couple degrees. Just give it a little bit more fuel. And I think you'd be happier with the saw. But again, maybe you put that saw together with stock intake timing numbers and you like it. I can't tell you what you're going to like. Everybody likes different numbers and different shapes. Anyhow, Chris, let me know how your saw works out. Maybe send me a little video and we can post it at the end of a video. Anyhow, everybody, thanks for hanging out here. Can't believe the roof got done. We got lots of work to do on that shop. I'm going to try and get as much done this year as I can. The future is bright. It's endless, the amount of projects I can do with a shop that size. I'm super excited. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later.